He called me.
did.
He called me on my phone twice, and he also left
I
me.
left you a nice, creepy voicemail message.
He did that too. So well, here I am, in all my splendor and all my glory. Nonetheless, as you can see, guys, it's gonna be BearMe versus VTL United 2. So of course, you can see that it's marked as 1-0 already in favor of BearMe, and you might ask yourself, like, wait a minute, we haven't seen any of these games. It's because map number 1 was actually forfeited by VTLU, as they were a little bit late showing up for that first map. So that means that BearMe get a map point advantage already into this best of 3, which means they only need to win 2 games. Law and Peppy, if they can keep it together today, then we could have a very quick victory for them, unless VTLU could swing back. Now
It's a bit of a shame, don't you think? Because you were talking earlier about wanting to see the play.
Yeah, he's so sick. He's super good.
Yeah, and it's kind of a shame in a way that we won't get to see that. But rules for rules on that front.
Yeah, that's
interestingly, I was looking into the teams, Tenchi. So
okay.
BearMe is
wait.
when
I was sleeping, you were looking into the teams.
I wasn't just watching you sleep.
You were actually you were actually doing some research as well.
I was actually researching.
Multitasking.
So BearMe, you may be putting a little bit too much emphasis on me watching you sleep. I didn't spend 2 hours watching you sleep. But BearMe is actually a team Illusory is on from the SSAC actually. So he's not playing, not in the. But and also earlier, Vicious Killers, who we were casting that team earlier, is Tian, who I met recently. Actually, I met both Justin.
Oh yeah, you did. You did.
I did. Yeah.
You can. You know. Hey. I want you to talk about this a little bit. Like, I want you to tell me about your trip, like in detail, about how it was meeting. These
yeah,
guys.
sure.
That's,
okay, so I met 3 of the SSAT team, which was Angel, Illusory, and Tian, who is the owner of Vicious Killers, and yeah, actually, it was really funny. We did an escape room together. Do you know what that is?
Yeah, man. I've not done one, but we have one in Stockholm. I really want to try it out. It looks like a lot of fun.
It's the first time I've done one, and it was really, really good, actually, really good. So the funny thing was that Tian, the owner of Vicious Killers, is terrified of everything.
What?
I mean, he's terrified of like the dark, like children's roller coasters. It was we had a good time. It was really funny, but. So, I mean, I went to Universal Studios while I was there, and he actually gave me a review of all of his rides there. Some of them were just like, this one's way too scary.
That's such a good ranking system, but I get the feeling that it's a little bit like
No, I've undersold it. He actually rated them incredibly accurately.
He did that. Okay.
Yeah,
and
it's like he tried all the rides. Still,
did you go on them per recommendation of even though he said it was and
I made my own review on his review actually. So we had a good. We had a good switch around with that. That's good.
That's fair. Okay, Dan, we're gonna do this, man. We're gonna jump into this technically the second game.
All right.
No, I mean, it's technically the first game played, but
first game of I know what you mean. I know what you're trying to say.
Yeah, I mean, because we've already with the walkover, it's a little bit skewed, right? But okay,
so let me just get this replay going.
So I'm just gonna wait. Again, I'm gonna do the thing where I go to 10 seconds and I pause the game.
So this isn't one we can watch together then, or anything?
No, this is an older version, sadly. So we can't do any of that sort of fancy shenaniganry, sadly.
So sorry, just to check because I'm off screen. It's Law, isn't it? Law versus Tan Kwang.
Correct.
Perfect.
that is the one.
So hopefully, by the way, the guys who were in here earlier are still here because some of the players from this series were watching this morning.
So. Oh yeah, that's right.
Some of those guys are still here to to join us. And if you guys are here, thanks for joining. Thanks to everybody who's joining so far, by the way, and for this event that's been put on by the SSAC. Thank you also to Dank Shrine, who's been a huge benefactor of the event. Um, they are still accepting any donations that go towards this and setting up tournaments and events and things if anyone is feeling generous.
Yeah, just check him out in general. Like, he puts on a lot of good content. He hosts a talk show and stuff like that where he brings on StarCraft personalities. I think like last week he had like Artosis and like a lot of these like really cool, you know, people that are very interesting, you know, hear their opinions on things. And
I watched that
like
one with
on.
Artosis actually.
Yeah, dude.
I find it interesting he got Seeker and Artosis's names mixed up on the overlay.
Ooh.
It's like, so that's a pretty big one to mess up.
Yeah. It certainly is. It's
I'm at 25, just to let you know, because I was off screen when the game launched. So you count me in from 20.
25. Are you on 25 seconds in?
Correct. Yes.
Okay, I'm just gonna let it run. So I'll let you know. Like when we get to 25, we'll go 26,
Okay.
27, 28. Like from 25 then. So.
Yep.
20, 21, 22, 23, 24, 25, 26, 27. There it is. Okay. So with that, now that we're sort of synced up, guys, this is a little bit of a, you know, unorthodox way to do it. We can finally jump in game. So here it is. In the top left, it is going to be the Teal Protoss player playing for VTL United 2. It is Tan Quang, butchering his name for sure.
That's right. And on the bottom right-hand side, playing as the Zerg in our favorite purple hue, it is going to be Law playing for BearMe. Interesting one for you, Tenchi.
Okay.
VTL United, whether it's a claim or whether it's fact, actually, I believe it's probably fact. On Team Liquid state, they are the only Vietnamese team to be competitive in StarCraft.
What about VTL?
So
what about VTL United 1?
Okay, they're the same. They're branches.
Can't explain
Try
that.
and do that to me.
Gonna become the like nonsensical, idiotic Bill O'Reilly of StarCraft and like question everything that makes perfect sense. But I'm like, nah, you can't prove this.
Well, I mean, they've entered 2 teams into the event, so
yeah.
no.
But
Yeah. What we're looking at is
Vietnamese
competition in StarCraft. This is what we're seeing.
I'm trying to think back. Because when I went to Ashgabat, right, like there was supposed to be 2 Vietnamese competitors for the StarCraft event.
Okay.
But they ended up not coming over because of like I don't know what I think it was like visa issues or something. Like it was really sad. Because it would have been cool to have some representation from them. Like now, I'm not very familiar with Vietnamese StarCraft. I think that I mean this is like I can count on one hand how many times I've seen games from Vietnamese players. The previous time being, of course, season 1 of this very same event. So it's always like a lot of fun. The meta definitely can be very different from region to region. Just even branching from country to country, you know, you can see different kinds of ideas of how to approach a certain problem within the meta. Now, Law's going to come in with 4 links, by the way. The wall is... Oh, this is actually a terrible wall from Tan Quang. Because he's got like 2 openings and he can't actually wall it off with a secondary pylon. So he's making it a lot harder for himself than he needs to. A little bit of a misplaced first pylon here, and it's actually really important that you get that one right on this map. Look, trust me, I know, because I'm terrible at walling off on this map.
Well, then you know exactly how hard it is to get right. But yeah, I mean, it's a nice it's a nice opportunity for Law here. He's got a couple of links through. He's on his 3rd hatchery. He's about to finish up. And yeah, it's you know what, the Zerg games that we've seen today, even from the other series, like hyper aggressive.
Yeah.
In pretty much all of them. I wouldn't expect to see anything less at the moment. Maybe I know that StarCraft's been patched, hasn't it? And things shift up a little bit. One thing I just tend to see at the moment is just huge aggression and And here we're seeing more of these Lings. Gonna go up and harass. He probably wants to stop Protoss from getting that third
Yeah.
Nexus.
Yeah.
Because if he can do that, as you know, like the
assessment.
Zerg economy will boom.
It's if you can control the third base timing of Protoss, like when it comes down for them comfortably when they start mining it, then the world is pretty much your oyster. You can do whatever you want from there. As long as you're not overly greedy yourself on the other side, like you go for a double expand or something crazy like that, then you can pretty much rely on having... You don't even need to go above more than 55 drones if you want to just make units constantly off a 3-hatcher Zerg. As long as Protoss just stays pinned back economically. So I kind of like this, you know, he's keeping tabs on what Tankan can be doing. He's got the Ling, Overlord as well. Sees the Stargate, a Phoenix first. Okay, so this is very unconventional, Dan. 99% of the time we see Oracles, and then maybe you squeeze in a Phoenix to start clearing up the Overlords, but Phoenix first like this? Yeah, this is... as much as I love the Phoenix, right, it's not as potent as the Oracle, especially not at harassing. Like, if you want to have the same amount of harassing capability, you need to invest so much more in multiple Phoenixes. And as I say that, the Ling's coming again for the second time.
Yeah, that's really unfortunate that still isn't being blocked, because this is now equating to a loss in probes. And again, it's just not being dealt with quick enough, actually. It's unfortunate. It's pulled a lot of time off of the mining here. Fortunately, all of those Lings do go down. You know, with the Phoenixes, I mean, I could probably conceive that if it was walled off properly, it may be a good idea just to stop any scouting from Overlords, you know, just tidy those up and just have, you know, just from the start, just stop the supply. Do you know what I mean? Stop the supply for Zerg and maybe just try and crush them that way. But it's a weird decision, like, especially given that, you know, as you say, he's left himself wide open at the start.
Yeah, mind you as well that those Lings that he got in, they saw the additional gateways coming down, they saw the Robo facility.
Yeah, seen everything.
So these Lings are actually just going to pounce right on top of all of these Adepts before they can even reach critical mass. I don't even think he's got resonating glaives with these guys. The War Prism will give him a little bit of extra mobility, but right now Protoss is actually under a lot of pressure. It might look as if Zerg is the one who's, you know, I mean, he's about to get attacked, right? So naturally he would be the one who's scrambling to some sort of defense, but it's actually the other way around here. Protoss is the one who needs to make something big happen. He needs to do some really good damage here, otherwise he's just going to die. There's no third base, he's lost a lot of workers, and with Banelings and Roaches coming to further cement this defense, it's not looking very good here for Tan Quang.
Oh, and he has got that third base coming up. He's on his way. Not for long.
That's nope.
Not going to be there for long.
That recall man from the
miss
mothership. Yeah, but that recall, he actually lost like most units anyway.
Yeah.
Yeah, Law is in a dominating position right now.
It's very good pressure. Very good pressure with Zerg. He's still keeping his economy going quite well. He's just bringing out the 4th hatchery now. He now knows the position of that 3rd base from Protoss. So, yeah, I mean, let's see how he deals with this. But I'm kind of expecting a few more Banelings. It looked like he was really going into that a minute ago.
Yeah, he's starting to transition
out
of the Roaches.
They are doing it now, yeah.
Yeah, because now what Zerg is doing right now, he's going in towards this optimal mid-game composition of Zergling, Baneling, and Hydralisk. And it's a very mobile composition. The Hydralisks are still relatively quick, on creep especially. But it's a lot of it, you know, sort of comes down from the Ling and Banes. They act as the backbone of your army, pretty much. But now moving forward, the Banelings are going to crash into the gateway units. The Hydralisks are here in numbers. They're going to just gun down this Photon Overcharge pylon. All the power units for Protoss are getting taken out. And that's it. GG. Law is going to decimate the Protoss in this game here on Abyssal Reef. Very straightforward and relatively quick victory, I might add.
Yeah, it seems like it all comes down to one little thing. which you mentioned as the walling off. Just keep letting those lings in, killing the probes.
Yeah, man. It looks like such a small thing, but it's so detrimental to being able to have a stable game as Protoss. You really need to have the wall off like fully sealed off. Yeah, it's one of the like basic things that you need to master before you can really think about anything else. Same thing can be said for Terran. That like if you don't know how to wall off, then you can just sort of forget doing anything else, because that's like just step one. And he really got punished for it, like not having the level of required consistency with something small like that. Like it's, if you're coming up against someone who's pretty decent at the game, they can exploit and break you for just the smallest error. Just like
especially against Zerg, though. I mean, with Terran, Terran can just fly over anything, drop wherever they want.
Yeah, but I think in any case, like it doesn't necessarily have to be just specifically, like walling off. It could be that around a certain time, this I kind of get. Terran likes dropping at around like 6 minutes with this kind of build that he's done. But if I'm not prepared, if I don't have units in position, then oh damn, 16 Marines are stimmed out of the fog of war in my main, and well, there's my mineral line gone. Like okay. You need to be prepared for stuff like that. You need to always sort of be one step ahead. That's kind of what it is. Like not only are you fighting your opponent, you're fighting yourself as well. Like to always be clawing further and further ahead, because it's as if you're fighting, you're in the eye of a storm, and it's always like pulling you back, and you're trying to like drag your way forward. At the same time as the guy next to you is like bashing you with a stick. So it's, and you're trying to bash him with a stick, but like it's. It's super messy, dude.
It's about as messy as that analogy.
Yes, but that's why it's perfect to describe the competitive game of StarCraft. Would you not agree?
So our next game that we have coming up, Tenchi. Now I saw Pepe in chat earlier, who was out here to support. And I'm actually just checking out Pepe on Team Liquid quite right now. So qualified for 2016 WCS.
That's not bad. It's more than I could say I
Qualified
have.
for the OSC Championship 4, placed in Group C, eliminated, taking 5th place. He's played against some high names. It looks like he's actually taken some draws as well in some of those games. This is an interesting one. 2017 WCS. He made it to the top 8.
Was this
actually
can you
Austin Oceania SEA qualifier? That's what it brings up.
Oh, he didn't. Yeah, no, he didn't qualify.
Okay,
right.
So, but interestingly, some of the games that he's lost are actually to the team.
No way.
Not this team, actually. It's to the team we'll be seeing next. Actually, it's to a variety of. So, VTL United 1 have a couple of members that he's played before, and also actually Varan 5.
So
if you can, Tenchi, I would. Oh no, you can't do it. That's a shame.
Can't do anything.
I have to really, when we do the next series, Varun 5 has got the best display picture I've ever seen.
Can you just send it on somewhere, like some sort of social media?
Sure.
I'll take a look.
It's genuinely worthy of bringing up on screen.
Okay, I'm not gonna do that because I have no like clean way of doing that. I haven't prepared myself. I think what I'm gonna do is, like, whenever I'm casting in the future, I'm gonna have like a small source called the meme scene, and it's just gonna be like a very specific area of my screen captured, and I'm just gonna drag in any sort of like, 5 out of 10 memes into that, just rotate them like constantly as the game goes on.
Well, I sent it to you on Discord. I'm just gonna get into the next game as well. So
yeah, let's. Okay, that's actually. Oh my god, that's such a good picture.
I know, right?
That's actually so good, guys. Wow, I wish I could show it to you. I'm not gonna.
Next series. That's a reason to stick around for the next series.
Yeah, but I'm not gonna show it. Or like, okay, I might show it. I kind of want to show it. We'll see. We'll see how I feel.
I laughed. It was unexpected.
Yeah, it was
But,
actually. That was good. I liked it.
Anyway, I'm at 10 seconds for you.
All right, man. Just getting ready now. We're gonna be loading in to game number 3, and so far, I mean, we had two very quick 3-0s in the initial 2 series. Are we gonna have the similar storyline here as well, Dan? I hope not. But we'll see. Let me just get everything sorted. It's gonna be like so. You're on 10 seconds. I'm on 9 seconds. That's now in 10 seconds. So I'm gonna be grabbing us in. Are you?
I've unpaused, yeah.
Okay. Wait. What time are you on? Count.
Okay, 15, 16.
Pause on 20.
17,
Pause on 20.
18, 19, 20. Yeah. Okay.
Okay, and I'm gonna catch up. 15, 16, 17, 18, 19, 20, 21, 22. There we go. Perfect. Okay. There it is, guys. We're synced, so we have to keep doing this. Anyway, here we go. It's time, boyos. Down in the bottom left, in the blue as the Terran. Can he swing back for his team? It is going to be Gil.
And over in the top right-hand side of Mech Depot, we have, in the green trunks, it's going to be Peppy, playing as the Protoss.
Peppy the Protoss.
I like it. Good bit of alliteration. Peppy Protoss.
Peppa
It's a
Pig.
bit like Daddy Daycare or something, you know?
Daddy Daycare.
Yeah, you know. You've seen the film, Tenchi. Peppy Protoss. You know, interestingly, so Gil, who's I like that he's shortened his name, Gilgamesh on the information that we've got. So
I was actually
he's kind of holding the flame right now.
I was going to say that not to be confused with Gil from Final Fantasy, but hey, you know, there's actually a boss named Gilgamesh in that game.
Do you think it's an abbreviation of the currency? Like people get confused with minerals, now it's Gil.
Mins. You're gonna start calling it Mins in StarCraft. Oh, yeah, oh, he's lost 10,000 Mins worth of units. Like, what the hell are you talking about?
Are you talking about time? Are you talking about minerals?
He's lost 10,000 minutes worth of units. Like, that's a lot. If you consider that a marine takes like 20 seconds to make. Yeah, sorry.
It's 25 seconds, I think, actually, Tenchi.
Oh, well, look at that.
25 seconds marine, 30 seconds marauder. I've been doing my research.
No.
What I was going to say though is, I mean, he's really holding up the team here right now because we're in a 2-0 at the moment. That is because VTLU2 turned up late to the start of this series, so the first game was forfeited, and obviously we had Law in the last game dominate over Tan Kwang. So this is a big game for him. Like he's got to be feeling the pressure right now. But Terran versus Protoss, what are we going to expect, Tenchi?
Well, most of the time, similar to how PvZ plays out, Stargate is kind of, you know, what dominates the metagame, simply because the Oracle just gives you so much great utility, you can harass with it very well, and it's just a very good way to find a lot of information, and from there you can sort of adapt your reaction to what Terran is doing. So, most of the time, you know, that's what we'd see. Even the Oracle starts right now here for Peppy. Gil, however, he is not going to be playing it the conventional style. You can see that he's starting to set up his proxy factory on the way here with a reactor, followed by a starport. So I'm kind of thinking that he might be going into double Cyclone production together with the medevac. So he's going to open things up with a Cyclone drop. Of course, this is very potent, especially versus gateway units. Can even gun down Stargate units because they do have the anti-air lock on. It's a little bit weaker than its previous iterations, so not going to be dealing with it as quickly as we've seen before. But it's still there, you know, it's relatively effective. I want to see now what he's doing, because he's actually not investing anything into these structures. Now he starts to Widow Mines. Ah, yeah. Okay, so double Widowmine drop. Back at home, he starts Stim as well. So he's going to try to go into a normal game after this early Widowmine drop attack. Want to see how much he puts into this, like if he's going to do it once or twice. So definitely one thing to sort of keep our eyes on. But the Oracle shows up. Going to start gunning down some of these Marines. You need 6 Marines to fight off an Oracle, Danny. Make a mental note of that.
He has got 6 Marines. They're trying to get the work done. But Gil just trying to micro around, see what he can pick off. 2 Marines, but no SCVs from what I can see.
Yeah, maybe 1 at best. So nothing significant. Widowmine drop now on the way out. We can see a second Oracle has finished up for Peppy. So this is when you have 2. You can start one-shotting or anything really, like any light unit. Marines with a combo shield as well. There's a Phoenix on the way. On top of that for our Protoss. So this is going to be very useful in just putting a lot of pressure here on this Medevac, because he's taking a 3rd base behind this as well. So if he can just deflect this Widowmine drop without taking too much damage, he's going to be in a great position.
Oh, it's a good drop though there. I don't think he's really seen it to respond yet. But there we go.
Oh!
A bunch of probes go down. There must have been about 6 probes then.
9 probes in total.
Still 9 in total. Wow.
Ouch. Yeah,
and
okay.
do you know what? He still really isn't paying too much attention to that.
I don't think he has a robo, so he can't actually make any observers. The only detection that he has would be to bring back the oracles and then use revelation. Oh, one of them will reset. Both of them will reset. So knocks down an additional probe and one of the adepts. The second connection was not as bad as the first one, so luckily Peppy doesn't end up losing another, 10 probes to that. That would have been...
Still, I mean, that is a big hit to economy there.
It is, but I think it sort of kind of becomes a little bit null simply because of the speed of this 3rd base, right? You have to consider that he's got triple pro production down with Chrono Boost on top of that, so any losses that he takes economically, he can replenish that very quickly, which of course is very nice for him, because otherwise, imagine if he didn't have that base, then he'd be in shambles.
Yeah, we're seeing more and more gateways come down as well now, so maybe looking to step up the aggression a little bit. I'm actually just watching Gil, because let's just check out his production at the moment. He's just taking another gas, and he's just spent a lot of gas as well, so actually trying to pinpoint exactly what he's going for here. I see Liberators coming out in the build right now.
Yeah, he's,
plenty of reactors for Marines, so...
No, one thing that sort of concerns me though is that he's only making a single medevac, right? And he's only got 1 on the field, which is at half HP. And you know this, Dan. If you don't have that medevac count up and at a decent number, every single time you stim your guys, you're leaving yourself a little bit susceptible to stuff like adepts, resonating glaives. Even the oracles can become a potent threat. A lot of phoenixes in the sky set for Peppy as Gil is moving forward. But this attack with only the Marines and only 1 or 2 medevacs at best, with what we have here defending for Peppy, I don't really see this doing all too much.
Yeah, I can see that.
Yeah, okay. That's a stasis ward. That's the entire army taken out of the equation, and now he's going to pounce on this. He's going to utilize the fact that, hey, half of your army is gone. Picking up the units into the medevac, they're going to get gunned down. Oh, they hadn't even fastened their seatbelts, even though the sign was highlighted.
Looks like he will have some success here with the Liberator covering the Marines. Going to at least do some damage and not walk away completely sore and bruised there. Yeah, I mean, I didn't really think much of that engagement, to be honest. And as you rightly said, there just isn't the medevac presence to keep.
Stasis ward as well, dude. That was actually like really big. That he just walks into that, doesn't actually pay attention. You can see all the cloaked units, right? There's like a slight ripple in. Like, so if you've got a keen eye, you can catch it. Ooh, medevac actually passes these guys without.
If you've got a keen eye, if you're willing to set your graphics to medium.
That's true. That's also one way to do it, guys, if you want to be a little bit less technical about it.
Yeah, now you know how the pros do it.
Dude, it's true. Like, if you go to every pro stream, they're playing at like low graphical settings. Because it's a little easier to catch.
But then claim to be better than everybody else,
Nah, guys, I see it all the time. It's like, you put... Imagine if you had like preset settings on all the tournament PCs, and every single person because the game has to look like really nice. They would be ripping that like right away from their first-person view. Like, oh my god, we would just see people like everyone would just auto die to DTs and stuff. Now, drop attempt here is gonna get pushed. Yeah, he's gonna get pushed back. The Phoenix. This is the strength of having so many Phoenixes in the sky. You can just gun down everything. He's gonna pick them up. Oh man, he's got the what's the name of the skin? You see the Phoenixes, they like light up in red when they activate the graviton beam. That is so sick.
I did see that.
That's super.
You know
cool.
me, that's the kind of thing I'm well into.
Just skins and aesthetic. Yeah, no, same. Like
So-
for Protoss for sure.
We've just had 1-1 come up for Gil. We're about to see 2-1 come up as well. But I mean, at the moment, we're still seeing these pushes with very, very tiny pockets of armies. I think this is going to be his undoing if he keeps doing this, because he's losing all these engagements constantly. It's just withering down his army.
Yeah.
And at the moment, he hasn't found a successful place to attack. So all we're really seeing is a lot of throwing of units that could be being stacked up. Whether it's a distraction, you know, maybe he's distracting whilst he gets a bigger army on the field. We certainly see one coming up through the middle at the moment.
Yeah, but he just loses.
Nice support of the Widowmine.
Yeah, look at this. Protoss is just going to pounce on this. +2 armor versus only +1 attack. Look at how he's just tearing apart everything. The Archons as well. GG. Gil taps out and Peppy secures victory here for his team. Dan, as you were saying...
That was an interesting one. I mean...
Yeah, okay.
It seemed like he was trying to do too much.
Yeah, it's... Let's take a step back from that game specifically, okay?
Mm-hmm.
And I want to ask you, are you familiar with the concept of Terran dropping themselves to death?
Yes. Do you know what? Even if I didn't play this game, I would I would be familiar with the concept that you can do too much. You know, it's it can be very detrimental.
Yeah. So this is like a perfect example of that, because what Terran wants to do, like, of course you want to be dropping, you want to pressure your opponent, but then there are certain points in time where you want to sort of hang back a little bit, reconsolidate your army, go up to a certain supply mark, you know, like around like 120 supply, then you push out again with your army grouped up, and you have all of the stuff like tanks and Widowmines, Liberators, all the support elements that a functioning Terran army needs. And then you can like fall back, and then maybe you can shave off a medevac to drop with that, and then you sort of bounce back, and then you go back home if you can't really attack into him, and then you come back with, you know, 180 supply or like whatever. So that's generally how you want to do it, right? But many Terrans, and I think a lot of that comes down to like inexperience, especially when feeling pressured in a tournament environment like such as this. We're like, oh, I have to drop. I can't let him, you know, do what he wants comfortably. So, okay, I'm going to drop him. Oh, well, that died. Okay, I'll drop him again. And then, you know, when you finally look up at your supply, like, I'm at 80 supply in 12 minutes in the game. Like, this doesn't look good. You know, that's kind of the scenario that we were witnessing there. Because when Protoss is just a rock wall, like, it's pretty much impossible. It sucks, man.
That is unfortunately the balance you have to be making on the fly. You know, do you waste an opportunity? Are you wasting an opportunity? You know, do you need to go in now? Can you save? It's tough. I have to say though, that Peppy played that very well.
Yeah,
I just think the decision making was very good. The scouting was good.
Just the composition as well. Like, I'm a huge fan of Phoenixes, one of my favorite units in the game. So whenever I see them in play, I'm always very happy. Now, anyway, can you do me a favor, Dan, and just quickly check on the calendar so that we know when we want to start this last series? So far, guys, you know, starting the day and followed by this one, it's all been quick 3-0s, which is a little bit unfortunate because we really want to go the distance in some of these games, but so far just hasn't been the case. They've been relatively one-sided.
Yeah, I mean, all that will obviously change as the tournament goes through, but yeah, I mean, we can take a short break before going into the next series.
Yeah, are we is there any sort of time
So
we need to
based
start?
based on calendar on Team Liquid, we would start in 53 minutes.
Ooh, that's a
Which
while.
is a long time to wait, really.
Yeah, let's not do that. Um, I'm fairly convinced that it's been set up that way, so that I'm fairly sure many of these teams and some of the players from each respective team wants to come and watch.
Mm-hmm.
But I would, yeah, we're not gonna sit and just do nothing for 53 minutes, guys. So you know what? We'll take like a 15.
We could.
Wait, what?
We could. Why
What
don't we just open up? Why don't we just open up the floor to general discussion?
Open up the. Okay, guys. Now in session.
No, let's not do that, please.
Where's my mallet? Let me. It's like gonna be like Judge Judy, just StarCraft and esports. Yeah. Okay, guys. We'll take like a 15-minute break or something like that, and hopefully people start dropping in from those respective teams.
Yeah, we can put out some feelers just to let them know. That,
yeah, I would say that that is fair. Or would you disagree?
It's fine. But just a quick message. So to those people here, like, thank you very much for coming and joining us at the moment. We are basically just finishing up this current series. We've got one more left to do for today, which you guys can find. I will just run the command for you, so you can have a look at the brackets as they're coming up. Please do check out Dank Shrine as well, which is a StarCraft 2 podcast, who was also sponsored this event. The SSAC are really, really grateful that Dank Shrine has been such a big support to them. So they would appreciate it if you support them by supporting Dank Shrine. And we'll be back pretty soon to finish up the casting on the rest of this, which is cool.
Yeah, so guys, we'll take a bit of a break. See you in about like 10-15 minutes. I'll set up a timer so you'll know when we'll be back. Last series is going to be a best of 5 between VTL United 1 and Varon